Hello there, everybody, and welcome back. I am Thormungandr, your host for this first day of the wonderful Juneteenth event. Welcome back to GDQ's Juneteenth Celebration for 2026, celebrating 5 years of Black in a Flash on the channel. And to learn more about Black in a Flash, our community focused on Black speedrunners and challenge runners and more by going to gdq.gg/bf or follow us on Blue Sky. And with that being said, you know, we've got some wonderful runners coming up tonight. One who is making her first debut, not as a host, but as a runner in this event. You probably know her as the Queen of Retro. Let's take it to our debut runner, AshSaidHi with a UN Squadron, all levels.
Hello. I am so excited. It is the moment you have all been waiting for, or at least I have been waiting for, because it is time. I've got the need for some speed. We are going to be playing UN Squadron. Listen, I'm usually on the other side of the microphone. To be here with y'all today, on this side, playing the game, I'm so hype. You have no idea. Also, I just want to make a note, you know, in New York City, the best place in the whole world, they had the champions reigning, the Knicks, in 5. So they already recognize, and we recognize here as a New Yorker, yes. I must make that reference. Knicks in 5, Ash, 1 death, no death, actually.
I was say I thought it was no death.
No deaths.
I mean, we could do 1 death too. I don't care. I can pivot. I have notes. It's fine.
Listen, PT, who is my incredible, amazing couch member, and Thormungandr as my host. Please claps in the chat for your girl, because she learned how to do HDMI pass through, so that way I will have no lag on this. So claps in the chat for that. Okay. PT, please introduce yourself. I'm very excited to be here with all of y'all who I really love very much. And we're going to definitely get down and get dirty in some UN Squadron.
All right. Well, as Ash said, I am PT. I don't know how y'all not tired of me yet, but I guess I can do the same intro again. Hi, I'm PT. I run Black in a Flash. I am the one has watched and saw and witnessed 5 years of growth here at Black in a Flash as we celebrate the Juneteenth class of 2026. Please make sure your cell phones are off for this run. Please make sure that you are facing forward and locked in for the run we are about to witness as we have AshSaidHi walk across the stage showing off her first run of UN Squadron. We also have Thormungandr in the cockpit along with us, helping along, because I know even though it says that they are a host, they are inevitably going to yap, because that is one of the homies. So I hope that you are ready for all of that information in action. But before we get started any further, please make sure that you have a beverage at your desk so that you are hydrated for this run. And if you have not grabbed a beverage, I'm just saying,
I have like 5 water bottles.
That is ADHD energy. We don't need that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not what we need.
Prepared. But thank you for reminding me, and also chat, to hydrate. So first thing we're going to get into here is when we start this run, I have to go to the option mode, show the difficulty that we will be playing on, easy mode. But please understand that no matter what mode you're playing on, this game is quite challenging.
As we've been sitting in practice and whatnot, it's been rough in these streets. Or the air.
I've seen the air firsthand. It's wild.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna hit game start, and then once I select Shin Kazama, time is going to start. So let's give a countdown in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
I'm so excited for this. You have no idea.
I'm very excited. Yeah. It's gonna be good.
So, as Ash mentioned, go ahead if you want to talk.
No, please go right ahead.
I was like, so Ash is going to choose Shin Kazama. The big things that's important about this is there are 3 characters to pick from, but Shin is the one that charges up the fastest with the firepower. However, in trade, they have the lowest amount of health. But that's okay, because we're still going to do this with 1 CC. That is 0 deaths, 1 credit. We're just going to go in and out and beat this entire game. Now, something that's important that you see on the screen here is that Ash is paying attention to enemies that are on the ground. That is because the enemies that are on the ground are jerks, and in the early parts of the game, you don't really have really strong ways to get rid of them outside of flying into the ground. But please be like very, very aware of that. You still can take damage by flying into ceilings and into the ground. So some of the other things that are really important that are on the screen here as Ash is going through the first level, some of these pickups that she's grabbing are going to be increasing her power. That power is going to be imperative for when we're going through the rest of the run. Now, you just saw that Ash took a hit. That does not count as a death. Instead, what happens in this game is that when you take a hit, it'll put you down into danger, and your next hit is a death. This will give you a couple of tries of doing that in specific, and you can see that there's a bar at the very bottom. It has 1 square of health missing. But before we get into why the health is important, we're getting to our first boss, which is just this loser tank looking guy. He's just hanging out. He's kind of shooting some missiles. He's pretty straightforward. He's kind of doing the back and forth dance. And while Ash is over here beating this man up, never mind. I couldn't even finish talking bad about him because he's out of here.
Man, he was just that quick to go. He was like, nah, you ragging on the tank, I'm gone. Quite
It's funny.
He's gone.
It's funny because in my notes that I made with Ash and in Ash Gaming notes, I have level 1 just marked as generic.
I love that for us. I marked
it as generic. So you just saw that Ash did a little bit of shopping as well, and that shopping is going to be very important. You saw 10 different power-ups that were on that screen. We only really care about 2 of them. We care about the clusters, which is what Ash is going to be using in this level a couple of times, and we care about bombs. And bombs do exactly what is written on the package. They blow up stuff. So in this particular level, we're going to have people who are going to be flying on top and bottom of us, and we have to be very, very careful about that because we also see that some of these nerds learned how to fly backwards, which is illegal in these skies. We're not going to be allowing that anymore. I know there's a lot of big planes on here too. Those aren't bosses. They're just big nerds. Actually, they're just big nerds. But going back to the power-up screen for a hot second, the reason we only care about those is because for the clusters, we're going to use those to get an AoE effect around Ash. This will help take care of enemies that are going to spawn behind her or in multiple locations. And then the bombs, again, as written on the package, you just drop bombs on them. You channel your inner outcast.
You know, it seems pretty easy. Bombs blow up, shoot down planes. Like, you know, what could be easier? Except for that guy who's flying backwards.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah. Some of them are very confused.
Yeah. You know, it just be like that. Now, I got to ask you, PT, because like before this game, did you know that this was based off of a manga?
So Ash educated me on this because the Queen of Retro always knows. Queen of Retro always knows. And she let me know that it was based off of a manga because I highlighted from the gaming historian and anime historian side that the style of the profile picture looks a lot like 80s anime. And it has that really big kind of aesthetic of Speed Racer and then some of those really, really like real crunchy, curly... Oh, wait, time out. We're just dropping bombs on them. Hang on a second. We have to observe the tech.
This guy really tried to come up out of the clouds, just like, I'm not doing anything, ignore me.
Right. No, there's nothing to see here. So we actually just dropped a super bomb, which gets that man out the sky. Get him out of the skies. These are AshSaidHi skies. Ash said skies, if you will. Ash said skies, if you will.
We're done.
We are done.
And look at him go. Oh, my goodness.
That's it. Also, y'all are really killing it with the commentary. Like, I'm just here chilling. You know, you got my back. I love this. I can focus, you know, make it look good.
Hey, I'm just doing my job, ma'am. I am just doing my job, ma'am.
Listen, I'm just in the cockpit, okay? I'm just chilling back here. You're doing the flying, okay? You got the easy part.
Exactly. Now, I did want to mention, you'll look in the upper right, there's money there. There is, in fact, doll hairs involved in this game. That money is used for buying power-ups at every single level. Oh, my gosh, the dip actually just scared me a little bit. It threw me off for my whole cadence of talking. But we need that money.
You're good.
And so another reason...
me stay focused, actually.
So another reason why we are also only buying bombs and clusters is because that gets us where we need to go for a lot of our stuff. This is actually a screen clear. I'm going to rob that and then make sure we do not hit the edge of the wall because that's terrifying. They hit you with the bait sometimes. But that money is very important because our goal is we want 1 million doll hairs. That's right, 1 million hecking dang dollars. You've heard numbers like that big before when you go to things like SGDQ coming up in a couple of weeks, but we won't get into that because I'm not the host. But you'll need $1 million to get the best plane in the game, and we're not actually going to buy that until the, I want to say second to last level. It might be third to last. I'm trying to
correct. No, you got it.
Fantastic. See, look, I studied.
But PT,
I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
But PT, you know what? You know what $1 million can buy you a lot of?
Tacos?
Actually, it's coffee. More specifically, Dragon Roast Coffee.
It's true.
Who is a dedicated coffee for gamers and adventurers alike. We'll count pilots in this case, too, because I think Ash qualifies.
Correct.
Their small, passionate team puts their hearts into roasting coffee to order with the mythical heat of Dragonfire, infusing a touch of enchantment in every sip. Visit dragonroast.coffee today. Pick up some of their exclusive coffee and a tumbler for Black in a Flash, which I'm sure Ash has in the cockpit of this plane. A portion of the proceeds from the collection go directly to Black in a Flash. What are you waiting for? Adventure awaits. Plus, we're going to be using the rest of that $1 million for this plane, so you better get in there and get your coffee.
Yeah, so drop your like $15 to $20 on some Kvepi and a tumbler, and then the rest goes to the plane.
Yep, the rest goes to the plane.
We have to give the rest of the plane. I'm sorry, we cannot buy all Kvepi. We have to buy the plane. We cannot do the speedrun without the plane, which you can see on this menu. What Ash is flying is the F8E, and that is going to be our plane for 6 out of 8 levels. There's 8 levels in this entire one. No, there's 10. I'm a liar. There's 10.
Wow, PT. Lying.
I admit it.
Wow.
I openly said it.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. I was like, see, Thor's trying to come for me. Something about this level, though. Fun fact, Thor, did you know that we hate trees?
You do? Wait, is that why you're taking down all the trees? Man, thank goodness this isn't April, because, man, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Earth Day over here waiting in the corner with just with a grim look in its eye.
Oh my God. I didn't want to say it, but I'm glad you said it. You know? I'm glad you said it.
So one of the big reasons we're getting rid of the trees. Hold on. I can't focus.
They're not dropping bombs, they're dropping seedlings, okay? They're just trying to plant more trees.
But what if they're the pricky seedlings that get stuck in your coat and stuff? Because I know you've had those happen. Or the ones that like get stuck right in the grooves of your finger.
Wow, PT. So you're saying you'd get rid of trees if they inconvenienced you? Wow,
I didn't
PT.
say that is not what I said. That is not what I said. I am just asking some questions for clarification for everybody, because I just need to know if it's true that seedlings can be annoying. That's all I'm throwing out there. Oh, but before we get into why seedlings are annoying, we need to talk about that unicorn that Ash just picked up. So this is actually a type, I'll say, of invincibility shield. This gives Ash 3 hits without taking damage, and that's going to be very, very important, because we're dealing with a lot of, as you can see here, coverage. We're dealing with coverage nerds now, and no one has time for that. As we mentioned, this is on easy mode, but even though we are only in the 3rd level and it feels like we're not doing a great deal TM, what changes in a lot of this conversation quickly is the further we get into the game, the more chaotic the screen will get. Now, what we have working in our favor is that this game is not very heavy in RNG. So a lot of this is very, very calculated and expected. That doesn't make it that much easier. It's still very much all over the place, because, Ash, you have to forgive me. There is one piece of homework I didn't do.
Okay.
I forgot what system this is on.
This is easy difficulty.
No, not the difficulty, the system.
Oh,
like
Super
Atari.
Nintendo.
Okay, Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah, that was back when they made games that didn't like you. So yeah, that's all you need to know. Easy is more like the modern day normal plus.
Yeah.
Which is
PT,
dreadful.
I do just want to let you know, though, Captain Planet has your location.
I don't care about that man having my location.
Ooh.
I don't care about him having my location.
The trees, man.
It's probably Don Cheadle. He's probably going to agree with me on stuff. That's the part you forgot about. You didn't say what flavor of Captain Planet. Congratulations. Now you got 2 Henri people on stream. I hope you're proud of yourself. I hope you're happy.
I am, actually. I am.
Great work. 120 out of 10. No notes. So chat, when Captain Planet unplugs the internet, I want y'all to know it's not PT's fault. It's Thor's fault, because I didn't call him.
Dang, I just thought Captain Planet was a fan of GDQ,
Oh, wow.
I thought he was just watching
so now we're calling Captain Planet a hater. Yikes.
Ooh.
Yikes. I can't believe this is real things that's happening. And here I thought we were just going to talk about things like Dragon Roast Coffee or the Yeti store being open with the bald shirt. Maybe we was going to talk about SGDQ being in a couple weeks. No, we want to slander Don Cheadle's Captain Planet. That's weird. Not my type of vibes, but okay.
But just to get away from PT hating me for a second, did y'all know that Summer Games Done Quick is coming to Minneapolis, Minnesota from July 5th to the 11th? You can go to gdq.gg to learn more or register for the event. And you can take a look at that schedule at gdq.gg/schedule. And no, Captain Planet will not be there. But you might see some other fantastic familiar faces.
I might be there. It's possible.
Ooh.
See, look at that.
Love
Look at that. Attention averted.
Oh, so I actually want to talk about this boss for a second while Ash locks in, because this is very important. So we were just mentioning how this is easy mode, but it's still super rough. This is the submarine itself is the boss. So we're actually going to hit this. We're going to hit this Yui right quick. I can't call it what we do over in St. Louis, but we did flip that around right fast. So this actually is the entire boss. And the boss is, you can either get rid of all these tiny turrets, which are nightmares, or you can get rid of the really big piece in the center, which is just really, really tanky. And as we can see, Ash is working on it. They're still chunking down. Now, another thing that's really critical about this is if we didn't get this kill right here, Ash would have to just keep lapping around the submarine until either the turrets go down or the mid piece goes down. That is probably your first really big attention check in the game.
Yep.
And if you do end up missing that, you have to fly back the other way. You can't just turn the plane around to do that. So it is a time loss if you do that in a pretty big way.
Yep. Exactly.
It's rough business out there, and that's probably a rough level too, because you've seen Ash do it a couple of times on not just this last boss but the previous boss. I mentioned that if you go down too low or too high, you will take damage. Some of these bosses have perfect placements in such a fashion that you can skirt right along the side of danger without taking damage. And Ash is going to be looking for those types of sweet spots in a lot of these boss fights, because otherwise, if you go into it with the casual play in mind, that was disrespectful, actually. If you go into it with the casual play set in mind, your probable immediate response is to just kind of panic a little bit. But Ash has mastered finding the sweet spot of like, oh, you can't hit me. It's like when your little cousin is like, you can't touch me, and they have their finger like 1 centimeter away from you. Those kinds of vibes. Those kinds of vibes.
Now,
Also,
speaking of vibes, oh, go on.
No. I was just gonna say I use a lot of slowdown to my advantage in this game. Like you could see here when they shoot all those missiles, there's a lot of slowdown, and I typically try to use that to avoid getting shot.
So I guess I'll slow things down a slight bit here and ask, what drew you to this game as your first speedrun? Did you play this when you're growing up, or are you like more knowledgeable about the material from which it comes? Like, what got you into this?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. Definitely used to play this game growing up, but mostly because I've played this game so much, I figured it would be good to start off with something I was like pretty familiar with, and we could talk through easily without like feeling like I was doing a lot of thinking while I was, performing. But also because I just love it, and it's a crowd favorite and it's fun. And also, I don't think we get a chance to see it a lot. So I really wanted to showcase it. And the people who play and speedrun UN Squadron are really, really awesome. So the community is really great. And they helped me to learn the ropes for a lot of strategy. So that's pretty much a big reason why. But also, it's easier to pick something that you're familiar with, and especially for my first run, I want to come correct. I want to put on a show and make sure y'all see some good gaming.
I mean, you got the glasses, you got the jacket, you've got the strats. I mean, I think you're set. PT, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here with all this hellfire?
So the Hellfire is actually going to be the kind of super move of the game, and Ash usually can get one of those on deck, but then you can usually get one within the level too. They're very much going to be static. Like I said, there's not a lot of RNG in this game, so Ash is going to know where those super bombs are. Now, something else I kind of want to talk about on that level is that's one of the few that you're going to have a lot of enemies behind you. So you saw that Ash was getting situated in the top left on purpose and dropping bombs on people from behind her. The bombs in the clusters are going to be huge for a lot of those types of enemies that insist on spawning behind her. And so you're going to see a lot of that in this level too, where we're going to have enemies spawning behind, we're going to have enemies on the ground, and we're going to have pillars, because we need to make this as chaotic as possible. And see, this is what I meant by the easy mode is not a game. It's not a game. It's a Super Nintendo easy mode, which is normal plus. It is normal plus for the modern day.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think the screen glitched out. I'm not sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, last time I looked down, it
chat,
said you have 4 helmets, so it's fine.
You were choking on water. Just go back to what you were watching, chat.
Just go back. Go back.
Everything's fine. I didn't see anything. I don't think that was. I think the screen glitched out for a little bit. It might be the tech. I know that people have been getting storms and stuff, so it's probably y'all's internet. My bad. So when it comes to a lot of this stuff, we have people coming in from the top, from the sides, and then this is what I was mentioning before with the pillars that you also have to get rid of. Because yes, you can fly above them, but given the amount of chaos that is coming in at any given time, that's just a risky strat. We're also going to have ground enemies that are going to be extraordinarily nude at this point, and you can see they're dropping bombs that actually make pillars of fire. We're going to be dropping all types of extra stuff. Oh my gosh, it's chaotic! So much chaos! What a wonderful cluster. Great cluster. And we still got our health back.
Got that Vulcan game
key in
down.
that point.
Making Spock jealous right there with the Vulcan game. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, not these. Not
Oh
this.
my god.
I don't. That is outside of my purview. I am smart about many things. Star Trek is not one of them. I just know what you're talking about very vaguely.
Would it really be an AshSaidHi speedrun without a Star Trek mention somewhere?
That's true. That's a good
very
point.
valid.
That's very valid.
That's like having me on a speed run and somehow Cuphead or Sonic doesn't get mentioned. I feel like that might be illegal.
I'm shocked you didn't say Bloodborne.
I mean, Bloodborne is a different conversation, though, because that's my hitless run. We're not going to talk about that, though. So, excuse me. This particular boss is kind of a nightmare, if only because of the fact that we have all these tiny missiles with a beautiful weaving out in and out of that explosion. And one of the big tells for this boss, because you know you don't actually have tells for boss health, is if he starts flying off more, that means you're getting closer, and that's why he's out of here as I'm mentioning it. By the way, something I wanted to bring up that I didn't mention, the F8E, the plane that Ash is flying, is also a very limited plane. Not only are we using just clusters and bombs, because that's all Ash really needs, those are 2 of 3 things it can actually carry. It can't actually grab the other items. It cannot grab the other items. But when we get to the F200, which we just picked up, this can carry everything.
Everything. I don't have enough money because of what happened earlier.
Oh, the glitching? That's fine.
Literally am missing 100. Okay, we could do it without this.
Okay,
right.
There you go. I believe in you.
Okay.
We got this.
We got this.
We got the $1 million.
We just got to work a little harder. That's all.
I believe in you.
Listen, we spent the money on coffee, chat, okay? Don't hate the pilot. Hate the money that went towards it.
Everything about this is terrible. That was an awful segue. 0 out of 10, minus 50 DKP. I can't even believe you subjected all chat. I'm so sorry.
Listen, the coffee was good. No regrets.
I can't.
Oh dear.
Okay. So this particular level, we have the F200, which is on the second to last level, and as you can see, they start really ramping it up because even though it feels like it's really nice and spaced out, it doesn't change the fact that one, we are in a much more limited location, so all that ceiling and ground we were talking about, it's out for blood. But then you can see that we also have people with verticality. They're just sitting there trying to shoot stuff at you, and Ash is still going to just mosey right on through here. Just no one needs to pay attention to her. She's just minding her business, flying her little plane. There's nothing to see here. Please do not focus too much on these circles that are destroying everything. That is not a thing you need to be worried about, ma'am. That is not an issue, not a problem at all. Nope, sure isn't.
All I really want to know is how big is this cave? Because like we're a plane, and those are like. I'm just saying, like, what is this? You know, Kong Adventure Island stuff. Like, what's going on here? There's waterfalls back there. I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, you know, I'm not sure, and I'm just gonna be real with you, Thor. I didn't think about all that, and I'm not going to. So,
you know, these are the things that just haunt my brain. Okay, like, why are we in a cave that's this big?
I didn't think about this, and I'm not going to. What I am going to think about, though, is this boss and the strat that Ash is going to use for it. So as you can see here, we have this really cheeky vertical gun now that, you know how I said Super Nintendo games kind of just don't like you, and they never have, and they never will? Could you imagine, chat, walk with me for a second, imagine being a small child playing you and Squadron on your Super Nintendo, and you get to this level, you're like, yeah, I'm so far! And imagine getting to this boss and realizing that the weak point is in a location that you can't shoot at.
It is very, very, very annoying. And also I'm gonna use, oh, there we go. I use my the Mega Crush to get when I can't. And there's also a strat where you can like wedge yourself in between that weak point. I have not mastered that yet, but we're working on it. Working on it.
I believe in you, because the whole thing with speedrunning is iteration. And with that being said, speaking of iterations, are you on your last level, Ash?
We are on the last level. This is the final level of the game.
So this is the lock-in. This is going to be one of those levels that requires all of the concentration.
Yeah.
And we're going to start with waves of enemies right at the start too.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you remember that time when Ash was like, I'm short $100 and then didn't even need that $100?
Yep. Remember that time?
I remember
that time. Pepperidge Farms remembers.
Oh my god.
Pepperidge Farms definitely remembers. I mean, okay, so we're at the stage now where we've talked about a lot of the tech. We've talked about a lot of the tech, like things you have to look out for. We've talked about how we have the plotted items in the game. I didn't talk about how the orange pods in particular is what raises our power, and then the blue ones is what brings back health. So those blue ones are imperative for the entire run, because, you know, sometimes getting hit by stuff hurts. But the orange ones, we need those to make sure that we are always on top of it. And you remember that time I said that if you touch the top or bottom, you'll take damage, and then Ash is flirting with danger by just letting that bottom of that cave graze right underneath that tum-tum. Right under that tum-tum.
I got really scared. I got really scared because I was like, I feel like you should be taking damage. Like, that was pixel perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you can tell it's the final level because anything that you want to ask, hey, why is this happening, is now happening. Like, why are there meteorite rock things that explode into 3 pieces, question mark? Why are there kind of like trappers that are at the ceiling that fall down and blow up? What is going on here? Why are the planes flying from the bottom? Why are the planes flying from the top? Why did that hit when you know it shouldn't have? This is racism.
Oh man, the TV static again, man. That is a weird
I don't know.
glitch.
You get
I know.
Okay, so Ash, I know that you're used to using CRTs. Have you done the whap and bap on the side of the TV yet? Give it a good smacker.
Can you say that one more time?
The whap and bap on the CRT. Can you just give the TV a good smack so we don't do that no more?
Yeah. You know, we're just gonna run that back. Yeah,
Okay.
You know, I need y'all to see the magic again. That's basically what's happening right here.
We're going to blame old man Shin. His TV's from the 80s, okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't work too good. He's got the rabbit ears, and they stopped using those back in, like, 2009.
The rabbit ears is demonic. You're just outing everybody's age on the call, huh?
I mean, rude. Are we not all of that gen?
Oh my.
Speaking of things we fondly remember, Ash, I have to ask, what else do you want to, what other games do you want to learn? What other games are you thinking about speedrunning after learning this? Do you have the itch to do more? Is there anything else on the horizon for this?
Oh, absolutely. So shout outs to Cypherin, because Cypherin actually inspired me to even get into doing this in the first place, along with PT and you and everybody that I hang out with in Black in a Flash. But I really want to get into some Sega Master System. I think that would be really, really fun. Specifically either Zillion or Kung Fu Kid. That would be like right up my alley. I love the music. I would also, even though it's highly, highly competitive, like if I was to get into a competitive run, it would definitely be for Batman on NES, because I really love that game.
A classic for sure. What a pick. Yeah, I was just so curious because like now once you start, you don't just stop. So,
nope. Exactly.
You know,
that was a slick screen clear grab that you did.
Yeah. I really
these guys are fast.
Careful right here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lock in a little bit.
Yeah, all of these locations now are just coming out for everything they have. We mentioned how the F200 can buy every single sidearm, and this is really important because this level, as you can see, is asking for a lot of attention and a lot of demand. So you've seen bombs, you've seen clusters, you've seen the vertical gun. We have to whip all of it out because, truth be told, coming into here, like if you want to do a challenge run of this, it's not me. I'm not doing a challenge run of this. I don't have patience. If you want to do a challenge run of this and you only want to have 1 or 2 things, live your best life. Ash, again, reiterating, this is easy mode, has to use the full arsenal. So now we're using homing missiles to get rid of all types of other stuff that's floating around that can shoot missiles. I was actually in practice with Ash, and those guys that are at the bottom, those are sneaky. What? Did you just grab a unicorn and it can give you a shield?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
I did.
Where's your shield?
Okay, I gotta
I do
ask
have the
though.
shield. You don't see it?
I
It's
don't. Okay.
flickering.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. It's there.
So ask your question, Thor, because I want to get into this boss afterwards.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, what's the deal with the unicorn?
Oh, the unicorn is a bonus shield. So that lets
No, I mean,
Ash...
but like, why is it a unicorn?
Why can't it be a unicorn?
Exactly. I think it's
I
because
mean,
it's
fair.
like the mascot of the game.
You know what? Okay, that
It's the mascot.
I'm so curious. Like, I love
Yeah.
unicorns. Don't get me wrong, but like, why was it a unicorn?
So,
All right, y'all. This is the last boss. So as soon as I take it down, that's when time is gonna happen.
So as we are going through this final boss, I'm going to go through a couple of things. So that previous boss was just the appetizer, if you will.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing about turning around on this game is that turning around is your iframes. So if Ash is getting shot at and she's in the middle of a turn, that shot does not count. This boss being the final boss is going to be a particular irritant because all these things that Ash is hitting, not really that relevant because there's a spot right in the center of the actual, ooh, God, that was terrifying.
Wow.
There is a spot right in the center that Ash wants to get to, and it is now exposed. That is actually what we want to destroy. So you see that she's using the full screen bombs in order to hit the center. We're using cluster bombs in order to get some good damage on it. This is one of those situations where if you are not acutely aware of all the sidearms that you have in your arsenal, this is going to be a boss that takes an extraordinarily long time because Ash is going to be positioning herself to dodge all of these projectiles, but then also trying to sneak in damage where she can. So as you can see, she's right underneath it. She goes to her vertical gun. She knows that she's going to get ready to move around. She's going to get situated, throw in a cluster. She's now turned around, and she's going to hover over it as close as she can, drop bombs on them, because the whole idea here is that we want to drop bombs. If they fly into your bombs while you are focusing something else, understand, remember always, that is not your fault. It's their fault for being a loser.
Huh?
That was time.
There we go. Like Santa Claus
we
dropping off presents.
I love that for me.
There you go. I mean, but that's what you're supposed to be doing, Ash. You're supposed to be underestimate as the good Lord's intended. We apologize immensely to the audience watching for the CRT malfunctions we had earlier, but I hope you did enjoy your UN Squadron run. Play Outcast. Fox, please. I just saw someone in chat say, play. I'm done with y'all already. I'm sick.
Ash, what an absolutely incredible debut. I know you've been wanting to do this for a while, and going from hosting into running, you must feel amazing. It was an incredible run, and you had an incredible couch. I'd like to give you the floor so that you can tell us about some of the awesome things that you have planned coming up, and also anything else that either of you have going on, because I know that, I know PT, you're everywhere.
No, God. Yeah, that's why I'm not talking first.
Also, I know this is not the last time we'll see some speedrunning from you, so why don't we start with Ash? Ash, tell us what you got on the horizon, what you're doing next, and where the people can find you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. First of all, I want to say thank you to Pleasantly Twisted and Thormungandr for all of the excellent commentary. I couldn't have asked for a better team. Y'all are crushing it. Y'all are always killing it. And I really appreciate your time and effort for learning all of the notes of the game. First of all, shout outs to Black in a Flash. Shout outs to Cyphrin. Shout outs to Pres Noir. Shout outs to all my crew, my people that are always encouraging me and cheering me on. I really appreciate y'all so much. I learned so much from PT and everybody. Shout outs to Yato. I'm really excited for all the runs that are coming up this weekend. Like, this weekend is stacked, y'all. You want to make sure you keep it here on the Games Done Quick channel, because there's so many talented Black speedrunners here that are coming correct all day, every day. It's going to be really awesome. I am going to be doing my retro thing. I play lots of retro games. I've been playing Diablo 2 for the first time. I've been playing Skyrim. It's been real fun. And you can find me everywhere at AshSaidHi. That's on TikTok, Threads, X, Twitter, YouTube, wherever, everywhere. Ash said hi. I love playing video games. I love making y'all laugh, and I love being here. So please, PT, if you got anything to say, Thor, if you got anything to say, and I just want to say thank you so much, and shout outs to chat. I see y'all in chat. Shout outs to everybody who came to support. I really appreciate y'all. Nixon 5.
So hi, I'm PT. As Thor kind of alluded to, yeah, I think at this point, if you've not seen me, you just are really good at dodging, because I'm actually everywhere. As you can see, this is our year 5 celebration, Juneteenth class of 2026. This is an event that I have lovingly been putting together for the last 5 years of my tenure here at GDQ, and now I'm happy to say that I do it with a crew. So thank you so much to Pop No Tarts and to Shampoo for holding down the fort whenever I cannot, because Lord knows I'm busy all over the place. And shout outs to Cass for making sure that the Black kids are getting all the love, the affection, the care, and the attention that they not only need, but they absolutely deserve out on our social channels. By the way, follow our social channel over at blackandaflash.bluesky.app. I stream twice a week on twitch.tv/pleasantlytwisted. I do Bloodborne Hitless right now. I am at a PB of 8. I am going to try really hard to get my Bloodborne Hitless run before SGDQ, which is the next location you can find me in person over at Summer Games Done Quick out in Minneapolis, July 5th to 11th, raising money for Doctors Without Borders. We will be there talking about all things Black and a hecking dang Flash, along with all of our other marginalized groups. Special shout outs as well to the GD Queer homies, the Frame Fatales homies, our LHS and ASA homies who support us through all of our endeavors as well. Please support them the way that you support us. And you can catch me on socials, but don't follow none of my channels, honestly, because I don't be talking about nothing. I just be rambling sometimes. You'll get some skating videos. You might see me doing some stuff on a hoop. I don't know anymore. I don't know what social media is for at this point. Also, I wanted to say, because of the credits, shout outs to the CalCon creators. We love you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All day. All day.
Mm-hmm. So,
yes,
that's all I have. Please get this camera off of me.
Well, don't worry. You are going to see Ash and you're going to see PT around. And when I say you're going to see Ash, you're actually going to see Ash in just a second here, because Ash isn't done. That's right. We've got a fantastic interview coming up with the wonderful, the one, the only Bobby. And of course, Ash said hi. PT, Ash, thank you so much for this wonderful run. And we